lot of people think this is the most important election of their lives. Do you agree?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What makes it so?
Well, because of where we've come in this short period of time and destruction that the godless people have taken over our world. It's not just the left and it's not just the Democrats. It's the godlessness in this country in general. When they started taking out the 10 Commandments out of our capitals and out of our schools, things just really started falling apart.
Where's the line between separation of church and state and putting the 10 Commandments in a government building?
I don't believe that there should be any separation between church and state. As the Constitution is written, it is for the people, by the people, and God is all part of it. So as far as I'm concerned, the separation of church and state is something that the godless people have brought us to continue saying.
But the founding fathers, the Bill of Rights, I mean, it was a basic tenet of the way the country was founded.
Correct. It was all based on God. And they were...
But the separation as well.
Correct.
Jefferson's Articles of Religious Freedom were about that, about keeping religion in one place and keeping government in another to a degree.
Correct. But at the same time, and everybody can have their own religion, but we still have respect for our gods, whichever gods it is that you're attracted to or you're serving. So there's just too many things that are happening in this country right now that are not right. And if we go by the 10 Commandments or if we go by just moral law, there's things that are happening that they're not right, and they're not right with any of the gods. I don't watch the news either. So
where do you get your news and information?
I get it from Truthers. I get it from Telegram. I get it from the Rumble channels.
What is Truthers?
How do you explain that? Let's see. To me, it's the people. There's military and there's there's veterans that are out there that are doing things that have been in the system all these years, and they're the ones that are sharing with us the different news that's going on that the mainstream media isn't talking about.
I'm Rayy Vana, and welcome back to Rebel HQ. Oh my God, there is a lot of MAGA supporting ignorance to unpack from that clip. But let's start right here.
When they started taking out the 10 Commandments out of our capitals and out of our schools, things just really started falling apart.
Where's the line between separation of church and state and putting the 10 Commandments in a government building?
I don't believe that there should be any separation between church and state.
Just a blatant admission that she wants to, through law, enforce her Christian values on everybody else. Also clearly does not respect or care for the First Amendment or the Constitution generally. She then goes on to erroneously claim that at the heart of the American Constitution is God, particularly her Christian God, which just shows her ignorance of American history, because the Founding Fathers took great care to ensure that they were not establishing a national religion, and that the First Amendment would guarantee freedom of religion to everyone of any religion, as well as freedom from religion for those who did not practice. The Founding Fathers were not evangelical Christians. In fact, most of them were deists, some even non-Christian deists, and certainly did not hold the same values and beliefs that the far right in this country does now. All right, now let's turn to where she's getting her insane information from.
I don't watch the news either, so
no surprise there, lady.
Where do you get your news and information?
I get it from Truthers. I get it from Telegram. I get it from the Rumble channels.
So, is she getting her news from journalists? No. Is she getting it from scholars? No. Is she getting it from experts on subjects? No, not at all. She's getting her news from people in Telegram groups and truthers, whatever the hell that means. She and other Trump supporters are always mentioning that they're getting the real stories that the mainstream media isn't talking about. Well, maybe they're not talking about them because they're entirely fictitious, figments of the imaginations of Trump's most sycophantic followers, the ramblings of conspiracy theorists with too much time on their hands. If only there was a term for news that was fake that we could use to apply to the nonsense garbage these people are eating up.
You know, I like real news, not fake news. You're fake news.
But as you heard her say at the beginning of the clip, this election is really important to her.
A lot of people think this is the most important election of their lives. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
And it's not just her, it's Trump supporters all across the country who have been fed through Telegram channels and supposed truthers, as well as Donald Trump himself, that the election in 2020 was stolen from him. And they feel aggrieved and they want revenge. Despite the fact that there's no basis for them to believe the election was stolen, they're in a cult. They don't need facts. Whatever their leader says is truth. And they are going to be voting in the upcoming election in massive numbers to reinstall Donald Trump, not just as president, but as a dictator for this country. And if we don't also go out to the polls in massive numbers to stop that, we're going to be stuck with 4 more years of Donald Trump, which I'm sure nobody watching this wants. So make sure that you're registered to vote because democracy itself is on the line.